Hello everyone, today I am at Pune Book Fair 2025 and today we are meeting some interesting authors from various cities. So I hope you all are excited.
What should I do with my life? And the answer that I got is I want to be a writer because I want to live after my death. So only a writer can live. Even if I die, my thoughts, my whatever that I write, it will still keep inspiring people. And I became a teacher because I wanted to create that legacy which would live beyond me. So I wanted to be a writer, but life goes on, and I never got the chance. But it was still there, and more than my qualifications, learning experience, education, I feel it's what life has taught me, what I have experienced being in different roles as a daughter, as a mother, as a teacher, as a researcher. Everywhere I saw communication a very common thread. I mean, I always say this to people that in India we have a culture which is called Sanskar. So a child in mother's womb starts learning. So in a way it is listening. So it starts communicating there. Till the time we die, the dead body communicates that it is dead. So it is such an inseparable part of human life. But it is so underrated. We never really understand what communication is. So that inspired me to have my own courses, train people into communication, and write this book. So it is not just a book where it talks about theory. It is for serious readers who really want to work on it, because every chapter you can't like sit overnight and read and finish it. You got to take one chapter at a time, read it, understand. There are exercises given, reflections given. So you got to contemplate and actually implement everything in life. And I know a person who starts it and who completes it would be a different person altogether.
Very nice. Your communication book has taken me back to the memories which I have from 1978, where I used to teach effective communication in GCs. There only we met Rajan. And you are taking talks about this in your corporate world.
So I have been open. I do it in schools and colleges for teachers, parents, as well as for students. I have never done it so far in corporates, but I aspire to. I have been exploring.
What is new plan for coming book?
So the first book tells the readers about what communication is and how should you communicate with others, and how even when you do not talk, you still communicate something. The other book, the next book that I'm writing, is about communicating with yourself, because there's where communication begins. So from the time we wake up in the morning till the time we go to bed, there are thousands of thoughts that we have, and every thought you have in your mind is communication. And I have realized that how you talk to yourself builds your life, builds your relations, builds your reactions. So I try to analyze the different voices that we have inside us. Where do they come from? What their intention is? And how, when we change those voices or start interpreting those voices differently, they make a different impact. They make us change our response to the world. And when the voices within you change, the life relations around you automatically change. You don't have to do anything for it. You just have to change something within you. So that's what the book is about, and I'm really excited to bring it to all my readers.
Great. I wish you all the success when you venture the new book.
Thank you so much.
Any questions from the audience?
Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity. Just one last thing that I would like to say before I go. Thank you so much for the opportunity. The one thing that I really like coming to book fairs and exhibitions is I get to connect with like-minded people. I get to meet other authors, what they are doing, what are their perspectives. I get to meet such experienced, wise people, and learn from them. So that's one thing that really excites. I mean, this bringing my book to people is one thing, but I think what gives me more pleasure is this, and so far it has been really a wonderful time so far with this reference. So thank you so much once again for the opportunity.
Thank you, Rashmi. To 18 years to expand their mind and also publish each of their stories through books. So, for several books from them, Garima's HarperCollins book, The Body Nirvana, won the International Book Award in 2018. She is a very well experienced author.
Thank you so much for the introduction, sir. It's a real honor to be with you and to be here and to take up a stall directly with Rajanji for 7 years. We've always been in communication, and but yes, thank you so much.
And Garima, ये book invention of my daughter. She is reading book this year. She is living in Australia now, and she is also a wellness coach. She wrote a such a small things she wrote down and make it into a book. She wrote in a book and just made an e-book, and I published the book without asking her, and now she is very happy.
Yes, sir. I think the world really needs this more and more
Yes.
with each passing year. Mental well-being, happiness, it's becoming really, really important.
These are the books which are looking of the day.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. And
you-
also,
And you have a wonderful publisher, HarperCollins.
yes, I'm so lucky. It was my first full manuscript, and I think it's God's blessings that I was able to get their attention, and that they agreed to publish that book. And then it went on to win the International Book Award, which again then became my guiding star to say that I need to do more of that.
In fact, today's author, Amish Tripathi is coming in my place.
Yes.
He was a HarperCollins author.
Correct. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. So, if I could just talk about my journey. Basically,
Yeah,
I
please.
am from a family of doctors, and it was my impressions growing up that made me choose to study the psychology of health and happiness. That's the core business in that sense that I'm in my profession. One of the very emotional events was that when I was still in high school, my father had a heart attack. And he was non-smoker, non-drinker, vegetarian, or fitness, daily tennis in the evenings, an army man. And so from the medical perspective, and a doctor himself, from the medical perspective, he had no reason to get a heart attack. And in front of me, at an impressionable age, his treating doctor says, "Sir, you got a heart attack because of your type A personality." And so these little impressions through my life I picked up, and I realized that becoming a doctor, like my elder brother became a doctor as well, being in the family, I wanted to really understand the other side you don't get to see in an MBBS. And so I dedicated sort of my life to this. When I write, a lot of this is about wellness, happiness, and the psychology. So I'll take what the textbook already knows, what the research already knows, and make it something so easy for a casual reader, that's my hope, that they will also benefit from all the wisdom, all the knowledge that's already there. We already understand cancer and infections and body pains and migraines. We understand all of these problems from the psychological perspective, but we don't talk about it. So the Body Nirvana, more than just a weight loss book, was my attempt to pick up one slice, which is people who are body shamed all their life and they're filled with guilt and sadness, and the only knowledge they are given is diet, calorie, and it's not working for them. So then I try to complete that puzzle by talking about the mind and how you have to change the mind if you want to change the body. And I think that kind of hit a chord, and that's.
You are also practicing doctor?
I'm a psychologist, yes. Practicing psychologist, I see cases, yes.
I saw this book,
Yes.
Victoria, it is the virus. Fantastic illustrations, very nicely explained for the toddlers. Very good book. I'm sure such books are not available in the market. When I am a bookseller, such books are very less limited.
Right, sir. This is indeed, it's a very special book. It's called Velvet. I think that's what the publisher told me. That it's called Velvet Touch, and it's a flat open book for children. And so here, the publisher Storyverse Land. They are a global publisher, but they're based in Singapore. They purchased my story, so it's my story. And the very talented Rohit Kar sir has illustrated it. And so this book is available in almost all the countries, including India, but you have to order it from their website. What makes it super special is that this is a highly personalized book. So the personalization is, for example, if your daughter is Garima and you want her to read this book, this one is about the child when they first time fall ill. So through the story, they will learn what to do, rest, have haldi wala doodh and all of that in a storytelling way, so they will not resist their parents, and it will tell them, please don't go and run around with your friends, you have to sleep. So once you want this book, you tell the publisher the name, the skin color, the hair, the dress and everything, and then Garima will become the heroine of the book. And all the adventures will be happening to Garima, and she will, if she calls her father Appa, then the book will say, Appa, this is what has happened to me, and Appa is explaining to her. So it really is so immersive that if you have children who don't like reading, then you can go for a personalized book like this. So this is a standard version because they are Singapore based, they made it Victoria, but you can personalize it as well.
What problems you have? First book launch, okay, पहले बॉल पे 6 मार दिया आपने. But how was the other batting for other book?
बहुत मुश्किल है सर. बहुत कठिन है डगर पंडित की. It is really difficult to get publishers' attentions. Now with the literary agents, I hope that they will become more and more powerful and they will help us get the attention. So I did, sir, venture into printing my own ebooks because I'm really passionate, as you can tell, I don't have to say it. So if I found that an idea was really important, like first teach your kid to fail. This is a book I have written. It's about raising children who are not afraid to try. And I think that's really necessary in helping them become entrepreneurs. If you can't take risks, and it starts from childhood. If they fall and you rush and say, oh, mera baby, chalo ghar jayenge, we will not be here, this is such a bad playground, then they will not become risk takers and they will never become self-confident children. So I was not able to convince any publisher that it's an important story to tell, so I just published it myself. So that is what I sometimes do, sir.
What was the next project you are on?
Yes, I do want to talk about J-Tag, which is done. This is the first time I wrote for children, and it's an epic adventure journey, and it's about finding these gems, because if you don't find them, then all the children in the world will die. And it's up to these 4 friends to find the gems. But actually, again, it's a health and happiness book. As the child reads this story, they're going to want to go outside, explore India, fall in love with the country, learn that eating according to the seasons is really powerful, and all of that. So I baked all of that in and made it into an adventure story. This one is, again, one of those first experience books, as they are called, in America. I've lived in America and realized in India we don't have them for Indians. So here there's a Dadi Ma and in the family, and the child is saying, ki, Dadi, my parents are going to have a baby now, are going to throw me out of the house, because he doesn't know that there can be 2 children also. Is the baby going to eat all my chocolate sandwiches? So the Dadi is very patiently explaining, but parents are very busy. So very Indian context, first experience book. Nothing novel as such, except that the context is novel. We haven't been doing that in India. And the project I'm working on is very exciting for me, and I'm really hoping that thoda roadblock mein mera atak gaya. I keep putting it in the back burner. But I hope with everybody's energy I'll finish it. I'm writing a parenting manual, holistically covering all of these little things, but I'm writing it for fathers. I want fathers to be told kya karna. In the modern world, sir, all the women, they are saying, boss, I'm also busy, you also have to do childcare. But where are the books? Where is the knowledge? He doesn't know what to do. So we're going to take that excuse away. We give them a book and say, now help.
Partly buried.
Yes. So not just pampering, like literally you have to be the disciplinarian also, not mummy disciplines and papa pampers. That's not going to work anymore, sir, in the future.
I also have one daughter, so I know that.
Yes, exactly.
Right. Any question from the audience? Anyone want to ask?
I do want to talk about my other side, sir, which is not author, but the writing mentoring. So as a writing mentor, I teach children to actually write stories, and we publish their books. And I request all of you to please join us tomorrow, right here, as soon as you go out is my stall, Writers Tribe by Karima, and we are launching 2 books, and I'm more proud of the books that my students write. So we are launching 2 of their books tomorrow. Thanks, Rajesh. Thank you so much.
Ask me a question.
Yes, of course, sir.
Tell me, how did you get HarperCollins interested?
Good wishes, parents ki blessings. Sir, I don't know, it is one of those things. I was in touch with Arun Jindal ji of Q4 publication in Delhi, and I don't know, he became the medium. He gave me an email ID, and first I got rejected by Harper, but at least I got an email from them. So they said, oh, too many weight loss books. And I said, okay, but who's writing them? Dietitians? And luckily, I got another answer from them on email. And they said, yes, dietitians. And I'm like, that's what I'm saying. I'm a psychologist. And they're like, let me take a second look. And that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Spending our vacations there till it all turned topsy-turvy in 1989. Right. Now I joined the army, which is very normal because who are actually a third generation writer, and the 4th generation will already publish 2 books. That is my daughter. My grandfather was a writer. My father had a number of books. And one thing in common with all of us, not with the daughter of books, is that most of our books came after we retired. So we were professionals and moved after we retired. I'm following a similar trajectory. I've written a lot. Writing comes naturally to me, but obviously it was not of interest to me naturally to the public. Because writing on different subjects, writing periodicals, writing essays and everything, but it was mostly to do with my profession, which has no leadership outside the profession. Over the years, I found the situation in my state, Jammu and Kashmir, deteriorating, not because of anything, it was pure rank bad handling. And who sets the thing right? It's the poor soldier. The politician messes up a situation and then conveniently hands it over to the soldier who sets it right, and only for the politician to, ruin it again. So it's a kind of a vicious circle. But now, anyway, there is a vicious circle. Either the circle gets tighter and tighter, or it gets looser and looser. You get my point? So either the situation goes from bad to worse, or the opposite. You get a situation under control, and finally you get it, back into the mainstream. 2016 is when I published my first. It's my second book. It's called Demilitarization of Kashmir. Rather, Kashmir towards demilitarization. In which I have suggested what is wrong with what could be, what measures could be implemented. Like, we think all these books ultimately land up in the trash can because nobody wants advice. Everybody wants to feather his mattress. But after 2016, I found a bit of a change. because there was a change in government and a change in methodology of approaching the problem, a way of looking at a problem out of the box. And around that period, when I published this first book, that is Kashmir towards Demilitarization, I found a number of my suggestions. I could be just, patting myself on the back strongly, but a number of suggestions which I had written were actually implemented in 2019. And 2019 was a cataclysmic year as far as the history of Jammu and Kashmir is concerned, because that is when Article 370 and associated events were eradicated, and we were set on the line of progress. So the large circle started becoming smaller and smaller and smaller till we are now at the vortex. That was the first book. Now coming to this book is actually 3 books, it's not 1 book. Initially it was supposed to be follow-up of what I had recommended, what has been implemented, what should be done, what further could be done, and so on and so forth. But things moved with such rapidity after 2019 that you're left amazed. Just one of the things that Article 370 being abrogated was something which, was in the realms of fantasy as far as Indians were concerned. We never thought it would be done. We always thought we were talking about it. But it's something like, in the Indian context, you say we'll get rid of reservations. If you think of it today, you can't. But it's there. It's there in your constitution, our constitution. But actually doing it is no way you can even implement it and then expect the next to be re-elected again. So similarly to that. So then, at the same time, there was a film by Mr. Agrawal, My Kashmir Files. The Kashmir Files. Now the Kashmir Files, it deals with a very, very sordid topic in Kashmiri history where people were founded out, my community was founded out of Kashmir. Sorry, I get emotional. Give me a minute. So my community was founded out of Kashmir. So at that time, I was posted in Jammu and Kashmir. I was a lieutenant colonel, second in command of a unit. And I was there, saw what happened. I saw the community getting founded up, my relations, activity. And at the same time, every day you see these TV debates. What is happening? One chap is saying it's all bullshit. It didn't happen. As a good whiny, it's pure simple fiction. Whereas I've been through it. I must put this on paper. Why I am saying that I have not written this book for the general public. It doesn't worry me whether 1,000 people read it or 2,000 people read it. I want the youngsters in my community, my children to read it. Because they are the ones who were there. My daughter was in a school bus which came under fire from the crowd. It was not militants really that time. It was just the crowd. Somebody opened fire and my troops opened fire back and extricated the school bus to safety. Now imagine how romantic it must have been for the children. She was both of it standard. The children had to get down to the floor of the bus and they escaped. The same children today are asking, how did all this really happen? How do we react? But that is the power of the juvenile mind. Juvenile mind, you are able to overcome trauma by convincing yourself that it never happened, or if it happened, it was a very minor event in life. That is how you progress, how you proceed with your life. Sorry, am I taking too long? Give me 2 minutes more. Right. So I wrote about this book, about that period. So that became book 1 in this book. So it is kind of a memoir, the first book. Second is an actual progress from my first book that is especially towards demilitarization, written about that. And the third thing, it's one that I was actually offered a contract by Akasha Publications for a book called Wither Kashmirian. Wither with H in brackets. So Wither Kashmirian. So Wither is it withering away, WITHER, or is it going in a particular direction, WHITHER? So that's a group. Let me combine it with this. So part 3 is Wither Kashmirian. So 3 different genres altogether in this book. Try to condense it so much that it could be readable. And that's how I went about it. I spoke to Anupam Kher, the actor, who had acted in the Kashmir Files. He was very happy to write the foreword. And Pentagon Press was kind enough to publish it. So, as I said, I have no pretensions to being an intellectual. I admire all the kids who are there, who are writing, and have given ambitions of coming up with more and more and more. I will also, but my ambitions are very limited, and my range is limited. But writing this was a catharsis of thoughts. It really cleansed. Presently, I am writing a book. It's not short stories really, because they are actual anecdotal. That will come out by the end of the year. And then one more on my bucket list before I take the bucket would be what I consider my magnum opus. My favorite author is James Blushner, and his style and tone. My favorite subject is Kashmir. And talking about the history of Kashmir from the time man originated and entered the Kashmir Valley till the 21st century. That's it. Thank you again for giving me this opportunity. As I said, thank you so much. I have no pretensions of being in the same.
28 books are on management, technology, data science, entrepreneurship. We work in companies like Intel, Dell, etc. I don't know, I have to He's written some very good books, as you can see. How do you come out with writing a book on innovation? So that is my favorite subject. And whenever I land up to Dr. Marshall's first place, he says, innovation वाले किसको लेके आओ ना? We do the innovation conference every year, social innovation. And he was the owner of young innovators.
Yeah, I'm
That's
sure.
what he's doing every year.
Yes, sir.
How come about idea and innovation?
Yeah. So, Professor Mashalka is an inspiration to all of us. And in fact, I had the good fortune of meeting him when I was at Intel, when he was heading the ISCR and NCL thing. So, thanks for bringing up names, sir. But then this book about adaptive innovation is around how we all need to look at innovation and adapt ourselves, which is in our everyday walk, everyday life. Specifically, this is actually a book within a series of adaptive innovation. This one is for educationists. I have other for healthcare folks. I have it for students. I have it for entrepreneurs. I have it for industry folks, so on and so forth. Because today is a world where we talk about artificial intelligence and conveniently forget human intelligence. In this world where we saw authors talking about the love for motherland, the art, the psychology, it's the art and the humanities which actually needs to rule the world, wherein we are letting technology rule the world, which is a misnomer. So my attempt is basically to bridge that gap, because I have seen the best of both worlds and the worst of both worlds at the same time. So it's important that we bridge the gap. We bring about a good understanding of all the aspects, not just STEM. STEM education is what is being top of the town, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. But it's also about steaming STEM. The A is very important, the art and the humanity, the emotion, the emotional intelligence, the emotional understanding, emotional awareness, the connect with people, the connect with your roots is very important, which is being covered by the literary folks. And I'm a nobody there. So I took to what I'm good at, spending over 25 years in the corporate. I've looked at the technical aspects, the managerial aspects, the people aspects, the challenges, worked with the governments within India, outside of India, worked on policy matters, worked on strategies across education, healthcare, smart cities, digital transformation, so on and so forth. So what you're seeing, these 28 books, is the culmination of all that I had learned, I've experienced, and now I would definitely want to share it with the younger generation, which is living in the real world, and I want them to get to the real world. So that's the thing.
Today the world is going on reels and AI everywhere, but this real world is really what you want.
Very interesting.
In fact, when the parents, when the children come to the shop, they say, मेरे बेटे को कुछ पढ़ने का सिखाओ, because you बस आखिर दिन मोबाइल लेकर बैठा रहता है. In fact, the bad habit is when the child starts crying at the age of 3 or 4, the parents give him a mobile.
Yes.
And that's what ruins everything.
Yes, sir.
It's all own publication or
These are our own publications. So, yeah, incidentally, we are, I'm into the fourth entrepreneurial venture, which is into content generation, printing, and now into publishing as well. So, we're getting my hands dirty into exploring new things, taking risks.
Get into good things, hands are going into good things, not dirty.
Yes, sir, that's right. So that's about it for books for folks at the school level, at the degree level, at the post-grad level is what I've attempted to bring about.
You must be having many projects like that.
Yeah, yes, sir. In fact, what you just mentioned about the kid, even before they even know how to speak, they are handed over a mobile phone. This project actually started during COVID, when the only word that we would listen was social distancing, right? So that's when it struck to me that going forward, it will be the digital distancing that will be needed. So we started a campaign way back in 2020 on digital device distancing. So we call it the 3Ds. And that's the project we're working on, and we're going to bring in a series of books around how to adaptively innovate ourselves to distance ourselves from the digital devices. We call it digital detox, we call it digital addiction, but there is nobody talking about how we can actually distance ourselves from the dopamine that it's giving me, which is of no use. So that's the project I'm working on.
You can meet the mentor Ashok in my shop on 19.
19, very thank you. Oh yes, thank you so much, sir. It will be a little nostalgic. Not that you would remember, but I do remember the meeting that I had.
It's just new book.
Yes, I've been following that. Of course, the earlier books, I don't know about the new one.
Last week.
Yeah,
19 you will be in my store.
wonderful.
This coming year.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yesterday morning I had a storytelling session with an author called Ravi Shankar Iyer of Solitaire. And today Ravi is giving a Bombay for another event in Bombay. He is the keynote speaker there in Bombay. He was on storytelling stage. That's the book he has written. This is a detective thriller he has written. How come from this to film and
So actually, this is my first book, Agyat. This is essentially both are fiction. The genres are a bit different. This genre is horror fiction. That one is into detective thriller. So while I was working parallelly on both the books, as luck has it, this one came out first, which is a horror thriller back in April, and this one is published in August. So just a couple of couple of words about my background. I largely am currently a corporate professional for about 20 odd years, a sales leader. Started obviously as everybody from ground up, and from there now taking care of digital and sales initiatives at an agency. Basically I'm with a company called Segmento. They are essentially into audience intelligence SaaS. So writing essentially has not been something that I started all of this. I was into writing. I started writing first. My first writing work actually was way back when I was 11. I started writing then. At that time I was more into poetry. In fact, as it has Scholastic, National Scholastic out of Delhi runs a national inter-school poem competition. So back in 2000, in fact, back in 2000 is when actually won an award with them as well first. So that was my first twist with writing something competitive really. So it was always on the back of my mind, but obviously as things as it, in day-to-day life and my sales career being very hectic on schedule, it took me a few years to get to writing, but so far so good. I think it's picked up well, and I'm happy about this. So a quick word on both the books. So Agyat was the first book. This is essentially a combination of 30-35 odd horror stories, short stories. Idea is that most of us travel for work, most of us travel to colleges, schools. And as a reader myself, I know we start with a few things, we complete 50 pages, and then as a professional, you don't get to pick up the book maybe 2 months down the line. So I was trying to solve for that problem. How do I create short stories that people can read on to? Young readers can read on. These are all absolutely clean books. And my PG so far I've seen is 13 plus, 14 plus young readers picking up, reading, want something exciting to read. So that was the context. And the other one is more of a one story. It's largely, I've obviously growing up, I've been a fan of Sherlock Holmes. So while Conan Doyle is ages ahead, the point being, as an inspiration, as somebody who wants to do something similar, I've created a character. As it has, the protagonist is actually based out of Pune, and the detective himself, and how things are around it, and it ends into an exciting, climax, and that's largely what both these books are.
You know, explore this presentation of the story that Litfest, there was children Litfest going on.
Okay.
You must come over and speak about the children's stories, because
I would love to, sir.
that genre, they have a very, very less speakers and authors.
I would love to, sir. I'll connect with you.
What's the next?
So currently, I actually have both sequels working on, because I think Agyat came out very well. It's been doing very well in the limited offline centers. As you were discussing with somebody, getting shelf space is a big problem, especially for self-published authors. But it's relatively picked up very well across 10 odd places that I already have, and it's encouraging enough. So I'm working on that. That's expected around January. And the other one is more of a sequel again for Ravan. So I've left it on a tender hook, saying that the typical end that people get. So hopefully that's that. And there are a couple of others, but I think these are the ones that you can see coming over the next 6 months.
It is very good and very less shows in Ganga.
Yes, yes.
Most of the available in India and the genre are international.
Yes. In fact, that is one reason I wanted to do something. I don't know how good the attempt is. That is for the audience and the readers to say. But I wanted to do something that is more Indian there.
Sure. Very nice. Wish you all the best in your.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Love you.
Thank you. Raju?